have the pleasure of meeting an exceptionally wonderful personality, and I'm sure that all of you would love knowing him. Before we begin, I just want to welcome all of you to Humans of Fuzia for this amazing interview that's going to happen. I am your host for today. I am Shraddha Varma, co-founder of Fuzia. And to begin with, let's introduce our guest for today. So we have Mr. Brad Walsh. He's a father to two beautiful girls aged 19 and 21, a husband to an amazingly inspiring woman, a photographer, and a podcast host. He hosts the podcast named Empowerography. And of course, I'll come to you, Brad, to know more about it. To give you all a gist, Empowerography is a platform that enables women to share their stories and successes with the world. And Brad is actually spreading the word about this mission, this collective, and this movement, where he's trying to help and provide a platform for women to help empower and inspire other women out there in the world. Brad, welcome to our show on Humans of Fuzia.
Hello, Shraddha. How are you? Thank you so very much for having me. And I am so beyond honored and happy to be here and be part of Fuzia and speak with you today. It's an absolute pleasure.
Of course, I mean, it's a pleasure for us as well. And Brad, while I told about your entire journey, or probably just gave a glimpse about, your family and your inspiration, and of course, your Empowerography, this in turn makes me curious to know about your inspiration, about you starting your podcast, and if you can add a little bit more so that our audience would know more about what Empowerography is all about.
Sure. So Empowerography was started back in 2019. I had a brief start with it. But my photography business at the time, I was in my second year full-time in my photography business, and the photography business started to pick up interest and traction, and I was getting more inquiries and I was booking more clients. So unfortunately, I had to shift my focus to the business and forget about the podcast. So I put the podcast to the side and focused on my business. Fast forward to 2020. In March, well, we all know worldwide what happened, the pandemic, the global pandemic, and that kind of rendered my business inoperable. So I thought, I heard a lot of people complaining about the fact that they're stuck at home and they're bored and they don't know what to do and this isn't fair. And I thought, I can't be part of that. I don't want anything to do with that negativity. I've got to turn this situation around. So I decided to flip the narrative on it and do something good with the time that we all worldwide were given. And I just thought, I have to do something creative. I'd wanted to start a podcast for a while, and I thought, this is the perfect opportunity. I can put all of my focus and all of my energy into this platform and focus on it because I can't run my business right now. So I set a goal for myself that I would create 52 interviews, interviewing only women, women who work in the corporate world, women who are entrepreneurs and want to share their story. And I started reaching out to women, and women were so happy to hear that a man had created a platform such as this to help elevate women and amplify their voices and share their stories. And so I began, the response was so overwhelming. And I found that when I was interviewing these women for the show, they started saying, well, Brad, I've got a woman for you that I can introduce you to that would be great for your show. And it just turned into this snowball effect, and it started to grow the community. The real true inspiration behind creating this platform to help elevate women and amplify their voices starts with my mom and my grandmother. I was raised by these two women. When I was a young boy, 10 years old, my mom left my biological father. He was running around on her having an affair. And back then, in those days, the women stayed home to look after the kids, while the husband was the one who was out working, bringing in the money. So for my mom to have the courage and strength and resilience to just pick my brother and I up and leave with nothing, we left with nothing. We took the clothes on our back and that was it. We moved into a 1-bedroom apartment. My mom slept on a couch. My brother and I shared bunk beds, and she had to reintegrate back into the working world because she had been out of work for over 10 years because she stayed home to raise my brother and I. So when she was at work, my grandmother would step in and help raise us and look after us. So for me, these two women have been constant and incredible pillars of strength and inspiration to me, showing me what it is to be a strong and courageous and resilient woman, teaching me about how to respect and value women from a very young age. And then, of course, I have my daughters and my wife, who are a huge part of that inspiration as well. My daughters were both bullied as kids in elementary school, and to see them go through that as a parent, of course, is heartbreaking. But I think what was even worse, or the worst part of that experience, was seeing the effects that it had on them carry through the different stages of their lives, from elementary school to high school to now their young adult lives. The effects are still quite prevalent. So for me, to be able to create this platform to help women to share their stories, because my girls aren't the only ones who have ever gone through that. So if I can have a platform that helps to empower women and amplify their voices, that is what this is about. I want to just continue to spread the love and the movement out into the world, because I think it's necessary. Women have been held down by men for so long. It's time for a shift and a change. So that's the short of it. That's basically why I started the platform.
Wow. And of course, I think all of us would know that he for she is an ideology, and it's kind of an invitation for men and people of all genders to stand in solidarity with women to create a bold, visible, and a united force for gender equality. And Brad, you have been like a true inspiration when you have been actually implementing it or practicing it, and
Thank
also
you.
inspiring others to do the same. So wow,
Thank you.
I'm glad that I got this chance to, bring your story in front of our audience and our community. I'm
I
glad.
appreciate that, Shraddha. I'm absolutely honored to be here and share this with you and your community.
So Brad, tell me one thing: what is different in your podcast as compared to other podcasts that speak about empowerment and, you know?
I would have, well, I mean, the obvious thing first is that I'm a male hosting the platform. That would be the big difference, because I know there are a lot of women out there hosting empowerment podcasts, and that's great. I love it. I think it's amazing and it's necessary. The more people we get on board with this movement, the better it is to further it and further propel the movement. But I would have to say it's just the fact that I'm a male holding space for these women to share their stories. And I absolutely love that I get to do this, because it's like I'm being taken along each woman's journey with them as they tell their story and share their story with the world and the audience. And so that would be the big difference, is that a male I don't know of any other males
And
hosting
I
any
couldn't
kind of
agree more
podcast platform.
because, and I couldn't agree more to this, to be honest. So, according to you, what is
Mhm.
how do you look at empowerment and feminism? What does these two words mean to you?
Empowerment means to lift others up and support them, help them on their journey, lift them up. Community is so important to me. And that's empowerment is, excuse me, lifting one another up. And as men, I think we need to be and show that we are allies for women, and we're standing beside you, not above you. We are standing beside you and supporting you and helping lift you up. And feminism, the same type of thing. It's just giving women a platform, giving women the space to talk. And we as men listen instead of talking over and not listening to what women are saying, because that's been going on for so long. I think it's time that we give women the space and the platform to share and talk, and we actively listen as men to what they have to say, because really, when it comes down to it, we all just want to be heard.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I mean,
mhm,
every individual has a story, and
absolutely.
everyone should have that freedom to showcase their story, to speak out their
Yes.
stories, because you never know. When you speak, when you express, someone from some part of the world, some part of the globe might get
Mhm.
inspired, whether you know or not,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
right? And so, according to you, what
Mhm.
role can men play in driving women empowerment?
I think we need to start standing beside our women and helping to elevate them. Like I said, with empowerment and with feminine, give women the space, hold space for them, let them share, let them talk. Again, women want to be heard. So let's help lift them up by giving them the space to talk. Let's stand beside them. Let's show them that we are their allies. We're not trying to keep them down anymore. That needs to change. And I can honestly say that since I started the podcast, I can see a shift. There has been a huge shift with women and where women are able to get into the places they need to, and things are starting to advance. They're not advancing as quick as I think they should, but at least the wheels are turning. We as men need to stand beside and show that we are allies to help those wheels turning. So more men need to get on board with this and provide the space and the opportunity to speak and share and listen. That's what we have to do.
I think this was actually a part of my, and this was exactly what was running in my mind, because I was about to ask you about your thoughts on, women not being actively encouraged, in leadership journeys. So my question to you is, how important it is for you, to, about thinking about encouraging women leadership, and how can one, encourage that? I mean, how can one actually work on it? Because we have seen a lot of say write-ups, blogs, videos, interviews about women leadership, and women holding so many positions, but in reality the numbers don't speak that.
That's right, you're right. I
So
agree.
what are your thoughts and your perspective about what is it that we are lacking?
I think we need to have more conversation around it. There's not enough conversation happening. And let's be honest, that's how movement begins, is through conversation. I know it sounds like, well, it's just talk, but no, I think that's where we start. That's the starting point for it. And we need to give women more opportunity to have a seat at the table, to sit at those boardroom tables, to be the CEO and CFO of companies. And it is starting to shift. Like I said, I can see it, but I think we need to, again, it's all about men being allies and men stepping aside and giving women the opportunity. Women are fully capable of doing the same job as men, just as good, if not better, than a lot of men out there. Let's be honest. So we need to start with conversation. Conversation is the key for sure.
I totally agree with this, with you, Brad. So coming to the next part is about facing challenges, and I'm sure that you told about how the last 2 years have tested all of us in in the best possible way, or the worst possible way, whatever you call it as. So what are your thoughts about facing challenges, and what, according to you, one should keep in mind when there are barriers in life, when there are challenges in life?
Don't let the barriers stop you. You bust through them no matter what. Don't give up. If you've got a goal or you've got something in mind that you want to accomplish, don't let anything stop you. Nothing. Just, you can do it. I believe that we as human beings can do anything in the world that we set our minds to. I've seen it with all the women I've interviewed on the podcast. These women have overcome such incredible adversity and struggle and problems to get to where they need to be. Anybody can accomplish that as long as you're willing to put in the work, have the determination, have the drive, and don't give up. I mean, I think we experience enough external forces coming at us, telling us we can't do this and we can't do that. Then there's this inside ourselves, the self-limiting beliefs. That's a lot to deal with. Don't let it stop you. You can do anything you want. And I think that we need to start doing and instilling these values into our children from a very young age, because this is where everything starts, is with our kids.
Right.
They're growing up into adults. If we instill these values into our children from a young age, they'll just grow up not knowing any different, and they will accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. So if we start from when they're young, honestly, the possibilities are limitless. We as human beings are limitless. This time we're alive during right now is one of the best times in the world to be alive. We have so much access to so many different things. The possibilities for us as humans are absolutely endless. So you can do anything you want. Just keep pushing and keep doing it. Don't let anything stop you.
And this is bang on, I must say, because because I must say that as a woman, or
Mhm.
as so many women that I have interacted with, something that always stops us is our self-doubt, our
Yes.
self-acceptance.
Mhm.
We don't have that self-motivation. We
Right.
underestimate our potential, and
Yes.
everything is within us. So
That's right.
I can totally relate with what you're trying to say, because these are some things that acts as the chain that pulls us back from doing
Yeah,
something.
you're right. And we all go through it. We all deal with it at one point or another. Everybody has had those self-limiting beliefs. I think we also need to surround ourselves with like-minded people and a great support system, because with that great support system, we can be elevated, and then we in turn can elevate and lift others up and be cheerleaders for others to
Absolutely.
support
I mean, I
them.
always keep saying people that surround yourself with cheerleaders. That's it. I
Yes,
mean,
100%. That is
that's the kind
so
of
important.
positive vibes and the good, you feel good about doing things.
Yes, that's key.
True. So, Brad, what is that one message that you would want to give to young girls and future women leaders?
Well, I would say the same thing that we told our daughters when they were growing up, when they were young kids, that don't let anyone stop you or tell you that you can't do anything, because you are a limitless human being. You can do anything you want in life. Anything is possible, absolutely anything. But you have to know that you have to put in the work, and you have to be determined. You have to be like a dog with a bone. Don't let go. If you've got that goal in mind, don't let anybody or anything get in your way or stop you. You can do anything you want in life. You just have to keep pushing and believe in yourself. And we, again, it echoes what we were just talking about: having a cheerleading system, having a support system around you to help you and guide you. But don't give up. Just, you can do anything in the world you want. Anything is possible.
And will there be something different for the millennials? Because these are the people who would shape the conversations. As you said, that's
Yeah.
something that's missing, is shaping conversations or talking freely about it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
how do you think, like, to our audience, because I know that a lot of our audiences, are millennials. They are the Gen Z
Hmm.
and the millennial people
Hmm.
majorly. Uh, Although we have spoken a lot, but what are those key actionable steps that they can take immediately to make a change?
Figure out what it is that makes your heart sing. Figure out what sets your soul on fire. That is so important, because you think about the millions upon millions of people who never excuse me, find their passion, their purpose, their mission in life. Take the time to figure it out and follow your heart. Do it. Go after it. Once you figure that out, go after it and make it happen. Don't let anyone stop you. Do not let anyone tell you that you can't do that. I mean, me as a photographer, when I was speaking about leaving a full-time comfortable job with benefits, people were saying, there's so many photographers out there. How are you? No, oh, yes, sure, there are a lot of photographers out there, but no one else sees things the way I do. No one else has my eye. No one else takes pictures the way I do. So don't let anyone stand in your way. Don't let anyone discourage you. Figure out what it is that sets your soul on fire and do that. Because if you are pursuing your mission and your purpose in life, life will be so much more joyful and amazing and beautiful when you're doing something you absolutely love. It's true. And I know it sounds cliche. They say when you are doing something you love, you don't, it doesn't feel like work. You'll never work another day in your life. It is absolutely true. 100%. Take it from me. I have found my purpose and my
This
mission
is
in
one
life.
more. I actually second that.
There you go. See, it's true though, isn't it, Shraddha? I mean, when you
Absolutely.
find that purpose, there is no better feeling in the world to know that you are fulfilling a purpose in life. And secondly, when you find that purpose and that mission in life, and what you're doing, what your purpose is, impacts and gives back to other human beings, it's like winning the lottery twice. There is no better feeling in the world. So I would say just give the time, put the time in, and figure out what it is that sets your soul on fire and do that.
So, all of you out there, I hope you've got the message. Before we conclude, Brad, one last message. What is your
Yes.
go-to life mantra that you would want to share with our viewers?
Hmm. I think it would just echo that don't let anyone tell you you can't do anything. Don't let anyone stop you from
No
doing
one
what
can
you
stop
want to
you.
do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that would be it. I would have to say that's it.
Great. It was lovely speaking to you, Brad, because it's not just about having a discussion about so many topics about empowerment and stuff, but also something that I've learned so much from you. Uh, the kind of positivity and the vibes that you give, it also radiates. And
Thank you.
I get a lot of, I'd say, positive vibes in terms of going ahead, knowing more, probably looking at lives from a different perspective, how you do.
Mhm.
And thank you so much, Brad, for taking out your time, because I'm sure that you have a busy schedule, but you took out your valuable time for us. It's I am thankful and grateful for that.
Shraddha, honestly, it is my absolute honor and pleasure to be part of your platform and to be part of your community. What you have built in this short amount of time, as I've told you before, it is just mind blowing to me. I think it's incredible what you and your co-founder have built here. The platform is amazing. Kudos to you for what you have done in this world, and you are living out your purpose, and I think it's absolutely amazing. Thank you for doing what you're doing. You are a true inspiration.
Thank you for being so kind, Brad. But yeah, I think it's like a teamwork. Empower. I
Yes,
always say that empowered individuals empower more individuals, and that's exactly
absolutely.
what we are trying to do. Uh,
Yes.
so, to this, I conclude our today's discussion and our talk. It was lovely speaking to you, Brad, and uh, to all our viewers out there, check out more videos on humans of Fusia. This was, we have more of such guests coming up next week. So keep following us and do check out fusia.com and keep following us. Have a great day. And thank you so much, Brad, for being a part of it.